Hello, everybody, and welcome to South Florida. I'm Lee Moore, and this week on the NGA Hooters Tour, we're in Miami. For the third time, we're at the Doral Golf and Country Club. Yep, it's the same place where they have the Blue Monster here for the Doral Ryder Open on the PGA Tour, but we're playing the great Ray Floyd course, the Gold Course. It's the third time we've been here. $100,000 on the line for our great NGA Hooters Tour players. Also, the ongoing story with one more event to go. $200,000 is going to be going to that winner of the Naturally Fresh $500,000 Winners Points Championship. A lot of money's on the line. Again, Doral is our scene this week. You're watching the NGA Hooters Tour. This week, we are in sunny South Florida at the beautiful Doral Golf Resort and Spa. This marks the third trip here for our tour, and the Gold Course at Doral has been perfectly prepared. 168 players are going to be in the field. They're after the $100,000 purse as our season winds down. This is number 20 of 21 tournaments.
This broadcast is brought to you by Hooters Restaurants, home of world-famous chicken wings and the nearly world-famous Hooters Girls. And by Naturally Fresh Pure Spring Mountain Water. All water is not pure. Taste the quality of Naturally Fresh Pure Spring Water. By Jackaroo Sauce. If you just got sauce, you ain't got Jack. And by Smooth, rich-tasting Michelob. Beer or Michelob.
The Hooters Tour is here at Doral for the third straight year. And it's fair to say that Doral is one of the more famous destinations in all of golf. There's a lot going on at Doral, and we thought you'd like to know about it.
Well, very fortunate we've got some committed owners that want to improve the property and make it leading edge, want to be the finest golf resort in the country. So what we're doing this year is we're putting in a new $6.5 million Blue Lagoon water feature. We've also got a commitment from Greg Norman, going to be upgrading, redesigning the Great White Golf Course starting next year. We've just ready to open the Silver Course, which we purchased recently as our 5th championship golf course, is being redesigned by Jerry Payton, will open in November. So there's always something going on. Opening a new member clubhouse here for our members. We just want to keep staying one step ahead with all the resorts out there. We want to be the best.
Hi, this is Amber from Hooters Myrtle Beach. Don't go away, we'll be right back.
You know what they say, sauce sells.
Get him out of here. Post it up, boys. Let's go.
There's ordinary beer, and then there's Michelob. Beer or Michelob?
People think that the Australian outback is full of young, wild ranch hands called jackaroos. Fact is, jackaroos are quite civilised. Until they grab hold of the big, bold taste of their favourite jackaroo barbie sauce. Then things can get a bit out of hand. Every jackaroo knows, if you don't have jackaroo barbie sauce, you ain't got jack.
This broadcast is brought to you by Hewlett-Packard.
The course record at the Ray Floyd Gold Course is 62. Michael Flynn equaled that on the Hooters Tour in the first round of action in this event.
First hole, I got off to a good start. I made about a 25-footer, and the rest of the birdies were pretty close. So I was very fortunate to get off to a good start, and that got me things rolling.
Here's your leaderboard after 2 rounds. Michael Flynn on top by a couple of shots, followed by Campbell and Petticord. It's Karen, Parker, and Pinio, all at 7 under par. Mike Flynn's course record tying 62 on Thursday gave him a huge boost to the leaderboard, and entering Saturday, he had a 2-shot lead over the field. Things didn't go as well in round 3. Flynn shoots a 2 over par 72. That's going to drop him 7 places. Dave Poteet had one of the lowest rounds on this day. A 6 under par 64 gained him the top spot going into Sunday's final round. Greg Parker is back in the saddle again. This birdie here on the par 4 first hole will get Greg in position to walk in the final pairings for round 4. Parker's from Old Fort, North Carolina. He fired a 3 under par 67. He birdied again at the par 5 second hole. Now get ready. This former University of North Carolina golfing star, who hasn't won in 6 years, is now firing at the pins. Chad Campbell's another one who never disappears. Chad, looking to wrap up the $500,000 Naturally Fresh Winners Points Championship race, is in contention once again to win. He's just 3 shots off the pace. Steve Ford, last year's Player of the Year, is 4 back. This birdie at the par 5 11th is just 1 on his way to a 3rd round 66. Let's check out now our NGA Hooters scoreboard after 54 holes of play. Dave Poteet is our top player right now by 2 over the field. There are 3 at 10, Gilbert, Parker, and Petticord. Then we drop to 9 where there are 2 players, Ford and Campbell. There's a real logjam at 8 under par between Reed, Hines, Rollins, Schmidt, Hauser, and Karen.
Hi, I'm Amy, Hooters Woodlake. Stand by for more golf action.
Finding the best bottled water can be very confusing. At first glance, all water looks the same. But if you scientifically precipitate out the solids, you discover all water is not equal. Introducing Naturally Fresh Pure Spring Mountain Water, refreshingly pure. This naturally fresh spring water adds extra quality to the all-natural goodness of every naturally fresh product. Make the clear choice. Naturally Fresh Pure Spring Mountain Water.
This broadcast is brought to you by Rapport Composites, premium quality graft shafts, and by Top Flight, the longest ball.
As we come into the 20th tournament of the year at Doral, your leading money winner, Chad Campbell, just over $81,000. Bobby Hines, who led part of the year, remember the $35,000 check at Decatur, is in 2nd place. Some of the others, Zorke, Dyson, Ford, Medlin, Thompson, Schwartz, Pope, Brinker, Schmidt, and France. They are the top guys in money. And our points race coming in to Doral. Chad Campbell's on top. Got a pretty sizable lead there, just over 2,500 points. Ennis Orkic, Heinz, Dyson, Medlin, Schwartz, Slevin, Ford, Larson, Karen, Sterling, and Pope. Those are the top guys in money and points. Things now quickly are going to change on our leaderboard. The hottest man out of Chapel Hill, NGA Hooters Tour veteran Greg Parker. Here, he's on the par 5, second hole. This shot sets up the first birdie of the day for Greg. Now to the par 4, third hole. Take a look at this. Back to back. Now he's in a three-way tie for first. Let's take Parker now to the par 4, fourth hole. This is where he takes the lead for the first time. 3 under in 4 holes. Now we go to the par 4, fifth hole. Again, Greg is on and his putter is hot. Don't discount Dave Poteet, our third round leader. He is going to battle back. We pick him up here at the 6th. This birdie at the 414-yard par 4 is going to get him back to within 1 of the hot Parker. Then at the par 3, 9th, Poteet puts in another birdie. Now, as the two make the turn, they are tied at 13 under par. What a battle. Parker's going to come back again here at the 10th. His 5th birdie on the day. Now he has a 1-stroke lead over Poteet. Parker's going to make it 2 in a row with this birdie at the 11th. This is going to put him up 2 with 7 to play. Here are some of the players you'll be watching in the final round of action. Philip Schmidt along with David Hauser and Jason Karen in one group. And just behind them, we have the group of Greg Reed out of Fayetteville, Arkansas, Bob Heinz out of Florida, and John Rollins from Richmond, Virginia. Immediately behind this group, you'll be watching Chris Petticord out of Humboldt, Texas, Steve Ford from Melbourne, Florida, and Chad Campbell. He's from Andrews, Texas. And our final group of the day, Dave Poteet out of Georgia, Gibby Gilbert out of Chattanooga, and Greg Parker from Old Fort, North Carolina. Let's go out on the golf course now at the Gold Course here at Doral. And he's been with us every week, my co-host. Here's Gary Lee.
Thanks, Lee. At 13, Chad Campbell's approach into the 350-yard par 4.
I really like this guy. It seems like every tournament he's somewhere around the top group.
Nice and close there. Next to play, Steve Ford. He's 10 under par for the tournament.
Right there with Chad Campbell for the time being, the 97 Player of the Year.
Over to the 18th tee, Slevin having a very mediocre day today, Lee.
Brian hadn't been feeling good all week. We talked about it. He could not figure it out, a headache and then a stomach ache, and just trying to get his health down pat for a while.
Next up, Eddie Ortega. Looks like trouble. Now Michael Flynn to tee.
Michael Flynn's been having himself a real good tournament, probably one of his best tournaments of the year.
Back to 12. This guy has been smoking hot. Greg Parker through 11 holes, 5 birdies, Lee. This guy is on fire.
He has 1 win to date on the Hooters Tour. That occurred back in 1992 in Greenwood, South Carolina.
And next to tee, Dave Poteet.
Well, he's got some work to do there. He won't be real pleased with that one.
Now Gibby Gilbert Jr.
Gibby, making his return to professional golf, had been operating a pizza store in his hometown of Chattanooga. Says, I want to get back to golf.
Now over to the par 3 17th. Hauser coming off back-to-back birdies at 15 and 16. He stands at 12 under par for the event.
and that's 4 under par for the day, and there's just not a lot of work to do there. Fine shot.
Next to tee, Philip Schmidt, 12 under for the tournament, a 32 on the front, 1 under so far on the back.
Well, he's got it on the putting surface, but a good 20, 25 feet away.
Now Jason Karen, 2 doubles back-to-back at 14 and 15. That really hurt his score, Lee.
We'll be back. Stick around. We'll have more golf coming up.
Hi, my name's Melissa from the Hooters on Mangum and 290 in Houston, Texas. Please stay tuned for more golf action.
Play where the pros play. Doral Golf Resort and Spa in Miami, Florida. Home of the Doral Ryder Open and the Jim McLean Golf School and the world-class spa at Doral. Enjoy golf on 5 championship courses, including the famous Blue Monster. Call now for Doral's championship golf package, luxury room accommodations, golf, breakfast, and more. 1-800-71-DORAL for the love of the game.
Do you want to cut fat without losing flavor? Are you looking for a product that's all natural and preservative-free? Then get out of the aisle and get over to the fresh produce department, where all the fresh fruits and vegetables are. Introducing Naturally Fresh Fat-Free Dressings. Naturally Fresh dressings are 100% natural. We cut the fat, but left all the flavor. Naturally Fresh Fat-Free Dressings. The name is our promise.
At the 517-yard par 5 16th, Greg Reed, go for it in 2.
He is 1 under on the day, and he's going to leave himself a very delicate shot into that flag.
Here's Heinz. He took a double bogey at the 15th hole, 3 over for today.
Yeah, Bob's just, he's been frustrated by his play, and there's some more frustration right at the hole, but that green real hard, and now he's got himself also a tester.
John Rollins, 8 under for the tournament, even on the day.
John's a big hitter and played at Virginia Commonwealth, and like Bob Heinz, he'll also have some cabbage to get out of there.
Steve Ford for birdie now at the par 4 13th.
To this point, he's 1 under for today, 9 under for the tournament.
Over to 12, Poteet for his birdie.
Well, he's looking to get 2 under on his round today and comes up short.
In the fairway bunker at 18, Eddie Ortega. He began his round hot, 3 under on the first 5 holes.
Well, he's 3 over now on his back 9. He's 7 under, Gary, for the tournament. Some work there.
The stand-up putter of Chris Petticord now for birdie at 13.
Chris had a 62 earlier in the week, and that tied the course record, and been frustrated. I talked to him during his round today.
That's the second shot of Michael Flynn into 18.
Like Petticord earlier in the week, as a matter of fact, first round, he had his 62, 8 under par, and again, that ties the course record.
Nice approach shot for Slevin into 18. Back to 12, this guy's having a great round. Greg Parker, this for birdie.
Wow, that's his 3rd birdie in a row, and he had 4 straight birdies on the front side. So to say Greg's hot is maybe an understatement so far today. It's good to see him playing well.
Ahead to 13 now to get to 11 under, Chad Campbell.
Well, he'll pick that one up. And speaking of 11 under, let's look at the leaderboard. Greg Parker's completed 12 holes, and he right now is at 16 under. He's our leader by 3 over Poteet. Then we got Philip Schmidt, Kevin Kraft, Chad Campbell, Gibby Gilbert, all at 11 under par. And some of the others, John Kimball is at 10 under. He's finished for the tournament. David Hauser still out on the course at 10. So Steve Ford still playing. And at 15, Greg Reed is 9 under par.
At the 17th green, this guy's had a great tournament. Philip Schmidt for birdie and 13 under par. And you can't do it much better than that, Lee. Right in the middle.
He told me earlier in the week he was right on schedule. You know, he said, I'm really looking forward to qualifying school.
Back to 12, our final group of the day. Gibby Gilbert Jr. for birdie and a chance to get to 12 under par. You got to hate those.
Just a bit short. But again, having been away from competitive golf for so long, Gibby's really playing well this week. Here's that shot of Greg Reed. I was telling you, it's so delicate, and he handles this thing very, very nicely. That's a great shot.
Now Heinz to play. Everybody just about pinned high on this shot so far today.
Let's see how he goes after this. Well, he's going to almost take a full swing, and he will not like that particularly well. John Rollins, almost the same shot. And let's see how he elects to go with it. Heinz trying to get the ball up high in the air. Leaves his about 4 feet away, and here's John Rollins. Very, very good shot there.
Forward to 17, Hauser for birdie. If he makes it, he gets to 13 under.
Earlier we talked to him about his hopes and dreams.
I'd love to be on tour in 5 years. You never know what's in store for your future out here in this profession. You have to take it sort of day by day, week by week, year by year, and hope for the best and prepare for the worst. And we've been doing this for 4 years, and we've been improving consistently for the last year or so. So if we keep improving, we'll be right where we want to be.
Now to give us the inside on the final 3 holes of coverage today, the director of golf at the Doral Golf and Country Club, here's Steve Friedlander.
Number 16 is a par 5, 517 yards long. Very difficult, long, plays 517 yards. Back right pin placement would bring the water behind the green into play. Number 17 is a 187-yard par 3 that plays a little longer than that. And a typical Sunday pin placement would be back left over a bunker. So it's all carry over a bunker. They're looking at hitting 4s, 3 irons possibly for some of the shorter hitters. 18, now that's an exciting hole. It's our signature hole. It's an island green. It's a par 4, very difficult, very tight driving hole. You got to avoid bunkers on the left, bunkers on the right, water all around the green. The green is typically very firm. A Sunday pin would be anywhere on that upper tier in the back of the green, and I've seen players hit great shots in there and spin it right into the water. So it's a great finishing hole. It'd be really exciting on Sunday afternoon.
Back at the Michelob Classic in Miami, Florida, Karen finishing up on 17.
It's for a birdie. Greg Reed now for his birdie. Remember where he came from. He had to get this up over a trap and in the hole. Great effort by Greg Reed. Played his collegiate golf at the University of Arkansas. He is out of South Africa and been on a diet, lost 60 pounds prior to this golf season.
Bob Heinz now for his birdie. The putter has not been working for this man.
It continues, and here's a guy that at one time this year was the money leader on the tour, and certainly he's way up there, but he has given up the lead coming into Miami.
Sizing up the putt, Rollins, can he capitalize?
John one of the biggest hitters on the tour. Strong, quiet sort of fella. Here's a chance for some noise. And makes that one look easy. Just a nice little move, and he also picks up his birdie.
We move to 18 and David Hauser.
He's having a pretty good year. Speaking of that, Philip Schmidt also is, and he talked about who influences him in golf.
Probably my father and my grandfathers. I remember playing with my dad and my grandfather when I was real young, and my mom's father has been real supportive of me lately, and my dad's always been right there behind me the whole time.
Hi, my name is Brandy Goodson, and I'm from the Hooters in Spring. The NGA Tour will be right back.
What the?
Get him out of here. Bust it up, boys. Let's go.
There's ordinary beer. And then there's Michelob. Beer or Michelob?
Finding the best bottled water can be very confusing. At first glance, all water looks the same. But if you scientific precipitate out the solids, you discover all water is not equal. Introducing naturally fresh, pure spring mountain water, refreshingly pure. This naturally fresh spring water adds extra quality to the all-natural goodness of every naturally fresh product. Make the clear choice. Naturally fresh, pure spring mountain water.
Race fans, the thunder of USAR Hooters Pro Cup racing roars into a track near you. So beware. USA International Speedway, Langley, Peach State, Tri-County, Concord, and more. Hooters Pro Cup has 250 laps of kicking the asphalt. In your face. No holds barred. Short track racing. Jay Fogelman, the coach Jerry Glanville, Justin Labonte, Mario Gosselin, and more lead the field in the chase for more than $2 million. For ticket information, call 800-852-7223. Don't miss the excitement of USAR Hooters Pro Cup racing.
Back to the home hole and Jason Karen.
Jason, like so many of the others, just getting ready now for qualifying school, PGA Tour qualifying school.
John Rollins on the tee at 17, 1 under today, 9 under for the event.
And while you watch his ball sail into the green, Greg Reed's going to be next up. But we talked to Greg about how frustrating this year's been for him.
This year has been really frustrating. I haven't played well, but I feel like the last month or so, things have started falling into place. And you know, last year I played good the whole year, and then came to tour school and didn't play well. So hopefully this year will be the other way around.
We're back at 17 now, and the tee shot of Bob Heinz.
Well, just a couple of weeks ago, Sports Illustrated did a piece on Bob Heinz being one of the few players from the Ivy League. He went to school at Yale to be playing professional golf. Also talked to Bob about having his family with him this year on the tour, and Nancy and Aaron have been right there most of the time. And for Bob, you know, it was really a blessing.
I thought I would play worse with them with me because of the extra effort that it goes into it, but I've played better because I get off the golf course and it's normal for me. My family's there, we go have dinner together, and I don't feel lonely, you know, and I get that feeling a little bit when they're not around.
On the tee at 16, Chad Campbell, 11 under for the tournament.
He's going to hit this one right where you want to be. Just split the middle.
Next at 16, Steve Ford.
Well, Steve, again, the 97 Player of the Year. Collected $200,000, $100,000 last year, and he's just picked up his last $5,000 check to make it an even $200,000 bonus money he had won. As we check out our leaderboard here, Greg Parker is the leader by 3 through 14 holes. Dave Petit back there at 14 under. Schmidt at 13, and so is Hauser. Kraft and Campbell are at 11 under. Kevin Kraft has finished his round for the day. As we take a look at some of the beautiful facilities in the background there of Doral. Gibby Gilbert having his, I think for Gibby, just a real good re-entrance to professional golf. Been away for some time. He is at 11 under par. Kimball, Reed, Rollins, Ford, and Stiles also having pretty good tournaments.
That's Jason Caron now into 18 from the rough.
Yeah, his tee shot just got someplace you don't want to be.
Rollins at 17.
Well, he'll come up shorter than he would like here this hole.
There you see the second shot to the par 5, 16th for Chad Campbell.
Big, strong, quiet young man. And boy, if there was a time not to be quiet, it was right there. That would really got away.
At the home hole, David Hauser.
David out of Cordova, Tennessee. His father is a surgeon and an outstanding surgeon. And David's an outstanding young man.
Bob Heinz at the par 3, 17th, this for birdie.
Well, he hadn't had that putter going all day. And he just leaves that one on the lip.
Back to 16 now, the third shot of Steve Ford.
Steve came into this event really needing to play well because he's got a chance to move up there in that points race. So he really wants to finish top 5.
Out of the sand, Philip Schmidt, his second shot into 18.
You can watch this young man hit the ball and get a good idea of how you should do it, and he'll like that some 7-8 feet away.
Back to 16 now, Chad Campbell, a tough chip here.
This guy just makes every shot look like that, and it's just amazing. Chad Campbell's so consistent, something like, 11 or 12 top 10 finishes in this, the 98 season.
That, of course, the tee shot of Greg Reed at 18. Right where you want to put it. Now, Bob Heinz. He's had kind of a so-so day today, Lee.
Yep. And while we watch the ball en route, let's talk to Steve Friedlander. He is from Doral about what's going on at this place, and there's a lot.
And we literally want this golf property to have now the Blue Monster, must play the Blue Monster, and the Great White, you must play the Great White. And of course we've got the Raymond Floyd Gold, must play the Raymond Floyd Gold, the Jerry Pate Silver, you got to play that. And our red golf course is our resort golf course with water on 17 holes, fabulous golf course. 99 holes of golf here, it's not too bad. Come to Doral and enjoy yourself. You can live and breathe golf for whatever time you're here.
I usually don't like to say I'm superstitious, but I think I am. Everybody always tells me I am. I usually always think the biggest thing is I only carry 2 quarters in my pocket and 2 tees at any time. I think that's the biggest thing that I would consider to be superstitious. And I usually only will play with a 1 and a 4. So I guess that's the other thing. But other than that, I don't think I'm too bad.
At 16 Petticord, this guy's having a tough back 9, Lee.
He really had tried to get into the event earlier in the week when he shot that course record tying 62 and then just wasn't able to build off of that.
Now Greg Parker on the tee at 16, 5 under in his last 6 holes.
Well, Greg, I don't know who's happier, him or some of his buddies that are marking his progress today. David Wall and Michael Foster finished earlier in the day, and they were having a great time talking about how well Greg is continuing to play.
That's the tee shot of Gibby Gilbert on 16.
Well, that's, again, just perfect position.
Next to tee, Dave Poteet.
Really is a good pairing. All of these guys are just about equal in distance, and as a matter of fact, Gibby had tried to cut back a little bit on his distance. He said, I'm not as obsessed with the distance as I once was.
David Hauser finishing up on 18. This for a 6 under par round today.
You see that water all around this hole. It's so interesting, number 18 at the Gold Course at the world-famous Doral Resort.
At 17, Chad Campbell coming off that birdie at 16.
Well, he's got some real estate between he and the pin.
Ahead to 18, Schmidt to take second all by himself.
Well, he'll share now second with David Hauser at 13 under par to this point. So Schmidt also with a 5 under par 65 today. That's how he'll finish.
Now Steve Ford's tee shot at 17.
It's a good par 3. It's got all the elements to it, and he's into the trap.
Next to tee, Chris Petticord.
Good pin placement on this hole, and very inviting, and he clears the trap, but still a lot of work to do there.
Gibby Gilbert going for the par 5 16th hole in 2. We've seen a few people do that, Lee.
Yeah, there were a couple or so that made it, but a lot of them ended up just where Gibby did. If you remember earlier, Greg Reed ended up there. And talking about earlier, some of the players posted some darn good scores, and let's show you those that are still on the course and those that have finished. Greg Parker continues to be your leader at 18 under par with 3 holes to play. Then it's Schmidt and Hauser in there, and they finished their rounds, and also at hole 15, Poteet and Gilbert there in a battle, and Chad Campbell also 12 under par through 16.
At the 17th, Steve Ford out of the sand for his second shot.
Steve still is 5 or 6 feet.
Now Parker's third shot into the par 5 16th.
Well, I think Greg's at a point in this tournament right now. He's got a sizable lead, and so he just doesn't want to do anything stupid on the way in.
Next up, Dave Poteet, who also laid up.
Well, he's in perfect position now, uphill about 7, 8 feet.
Chad Campbell now for his birdie at the 17th.
Again, really, really good par 3, and he'll have just a bit more than a tip in.
At 18, Reed, his second shot.
It's really a great hole, completely surrounded by water.
And so is he.
And he found some water. You see the little disturbance there in the water. There's where Greg Reed has a watery grave.
Petticord for par at 17.
You know, we mentioned the water back there, but a lot of guys ended up in the water.
This for birdie for Greg Parker at 16, just a little short.
Well, he's still comfortable with, at this point, a 5-stroke lead. So, not too disappointed. He has certainly made his share of the birdies coming in. And while we watch Heinz's offering here, we talked earlier to Steve Ford about what's involved in sponsorship of a Hooters Tour player.
It's kind of a gamble. There's not too many guys clearing a lot of money out here, but you know, it definitely gives a guy a chance to play and see how he does. And you know, you never know. You might sponsor a guy who comes out here and wins all the money, and you know, that's just the chance you take. But yeah, it's nice to give a guy a chance to come out here and play and see what he can do, and see if that's, you know, the kind of work that he wants to get into for you know, quite some time.
This is Bambi from Hooters of Myrtle Beach. There's more NGA golf action coming up next.
Play where the pros play. Doral Golf Resort and Spa in Miami, Florida. Home of the Doral Ryder Open and the Jim McLean Golf School and the world-class spa at Doral. Enjoy golf on 5 championship courses, including the famous Blue Monster. Call now for Doral's championship golf package, luxury room accommodations, golf, breakfast, and more. 1-800-71-DORAL for the love of the game.
Naming our salad dressing Naturally Fresh gives us a lot to live up to. So we use only the freshest vegetables and spices. And because we add no preservatives, you won't find Naturally Fresh on the salad dressing aisle. You'll only find it in the refrigerated produce section. Naturally Fresh gives you premium quality without the premium price. We're located with the rest of the fresh produce. So try us next time you shop for fresh fruits and vegetables. The naturally fresh name is our promise.
My barbecue sauce has the big, bold taste that really makes barbecue taste great. Barbecue sauce.
That's not barbecue sauce. This is barbecue sauce.
Jackaroo barbecue sauce. Big taste from a big place.
Back at the Gold Course at Doral at 16, Poteet for birdie.
Just off the mark.
He finishes up his yard work, as they call it. Now the approach of John Rollins on 18.
He's coming out of some pretty good rough there, and that appeared to be a pretty good shot there. It's a great shot, as a matter of fact.
Now Chad Campbell on the tee at 18.
I don't think they make enough superlatives to cover Chad Campbell. He has just been Mr. Everything this year.
What a year this man had last year. Steve Ford's tee shot.
And, really a pretty darn good year this year. He's probably going to finish up winning $150,000, $160,000 in golf-related activities for the year.
Maybe he'll loan me a little. Now Petticord's tee shot.
Well, Chris told me at that time he's trying to determine what his future is as far as golf is concerned.
At 17, this guy's got to be feeling pretty good. Greg Parker, a 5-stroke lead.
Boy, he's going to take this one. You could hang 2 years wash on this one right at the pin. Now that is a great shot. And under the conditions there, bad news for his fellow competitors, because if he can get that in, that's going to increase his lead as we watch young Mr. Gilbert. And he's going to go right after the pin also. Let's see where it comes up. Well, quite a distance, 25, 30 feet away.
Maybe another club length. Bob Heinz for birdie to finish with a 72 and 6 under for the event.
That's the way to finish it, Bobby. That's how you want to do each time, and I'm sure that laugh is a little bit of a relief and everything. Okay, guys, let me get my ball and get out of here and get in the car and pack up Nancy and Aaron and head home. That's right. But this guy is a fine player, too. Isn't that a beautiful place, Doral Country Club? Great golf destination as you check out our Michelob Classic scoreboard on the NGA Hooters Tour. Greg Parker rides the front spot at 18 under par. Schmidt and Hauser, along with Dave Poteet, also in there. 13 under and a couple at 12. That's Gilbert and Chad Campbell. That's what we look like as we head down the stretch to our next to last tournament of the year.
Poteet's tee shot at 17.
That's when you stand back there and say, anytime you can stop, rolls right up against the grass. So that's going to be a tough putt there.
This for bogey. Greg Reed, and looks like a double for Greg.
Yeah, this is not good. A round of 70, but 8 under for the tournament. Greg just sort of mentally going over some things here in his own mind.
Next up, John Rollins for birdie in a round of 69.
Well, John's going to finish at 9 under par. It's been a good event for him. Well, a nice handshake. Great round guys. Rollins, Heinz, and Reed. Gibby Gilbert for his birdie attempt. Gibby's back, reinvigorated, renewed, and refocused for the year.
I've changed a lot in the last couple of years, and a lot of times I felt myself when I was playing well, saying, "Oh, I can't wait to call Dad tonight," and tell him. Well, I don't think that anymore. I'm taking one shot at a time, and if it happens, it happens, And I've learned just to take one shot at a time, and I've learned a lot in the last year.
At 17, Dave Poteet now for his birdie.
That's a tough putt. You're right up against the first cut in there, and he left himself quite a bit of work. Here's Steve Ford in the bunker at 18. I wondered, with some of our players this year, I got 2 or 3 of them to talk about who's really influenced them in this game. Some interesting answers.
I'd say my parents probably. My dad died a few years ago, and that's had a lot of impact on my life. But my mom's still around, and she's a big supporter. And like I said, Doc Abel, he's really helped me out a lot. He's always been there when I needed him, as far as golf and for being a friend.
I guess my dad has had the most influence on me. Just watching him play and everything, and growing up in that life, that's had the most influence on me on what I want to do.
Off the top of my head, probably say my father. He began playing when he was younger, in his 20s, and introduced me to it when I was young, 3 or 4 or 5 years old, and so he was sort of my first teacher, so to speak. And he's so enthusiastic, one of my greatest fans. He's, lives and dies with my rounds, and so he's been a big influence in my life and my golf game.
Big putt for Greg Parker here, Lee.
Yeah, he could get it to 19 under par, and he does. He's right on track now if he can find a par at the last hole to reestablish a course record. Greg has not played a lot of golf this year, which is unusual for him.
Well, I haven't played a lot of golf tournaments. I took the first part of the year off, and this is only my 9th tournament of the year. And last week I finished 8th and was in a tournament, and this week I've turned around and got myself right back into contention. So obviously the last month I'm very pleased with where my game is, and it seems to be coming around at the right time with Tour School ahead of me. So hopefully my best golf's still ahead of me this year.
Now Chris Petticourt's second shot into 18.
And like we said, this almost completely surrounded by water, just a fine, fine golf hole. And he'll be pleased with that.
Chad Campbell next to play.
Looking for a nice spot to stay dry. Steve Ford talked about superstitions in golf.
When I'm playing good, I kind of start twitching a little bit and getting a few more little hitches there, here or there. That's just kind of a nervous reaction, but I always mark my ball a quarter, heads up, and just a couple other little things that I can't get into. But yeah, everybody's a little superstitious.
On the tee at 18, and to this point in cruise control, Greg Parker.
He is not happy. When golfers do that right there, they are looking down there. He still hasn't found out where his ball is, but not happy about that.
Steve Ford now for birdie at 18.
Well, Steve's going to finish with an even par round of 79 under for the tournament out of Melbourne, Florida.
Next up, Petticourt. He'd love to finish with a birdie here.
Well, he's 6 over par on his round today, and that's a good finish, Chris.
At the tee, Gibby Gilbert heading home on 18.
We keep mentioning that Gibby had been in the pizza business for the last year or so, wanted to try that, and he says, I'm going to stick to golf.
The tee shot of Dave Poteet.
Yeah, this one gets away from him. Lands that one in the fairway bunker.
On the green at 18, Chad Campbell finishing up his round.
It's 3 under today. This puts him for a 66. Good tournament. Some of the other guys, like Chris Petticord, think a lot of Chad Campbell.
I mean, I had a great opportunity to play with Chad yesterday, and he's so tough, you know. I mean, under pressure, he putts well, he does everything well, and that's the thing that I've really lacked. I mean, like I said, everybody can hit putts. It's just who does it when it means the most. And I think that's why he's the leading money winner or the leading point getter, is because when the bell's ringing, he's there and he loves it. And it's a matter of loving it, and I've been afraid of it. You know, it's almost like I fear being in that position, because when you are in contention, it's the nerves that get to you the most.
Well, there you see where Greg Parker's tee shot landed. He's got to punch this out of trouble.
Yeah, he's just going to try to get back into the fairway and leave himself not too much distance to the 18th green.
Poteet out of the bunker on the right-hand side.
That's a little bit long, and he'll stay on the surface.
The second shot of Gibby Gilbert Jr.
Been making some real good passes at the ball, and he'll like that a lot.
And now the third shot of Parker.
Well, don't go away, because we're going to be right back with more golf as we get ready to finish up here at Doral.
Hi, I'm Christy from Hooters off of Kirby. We'll be right back.
TJ and I were just walking through the park, and out of nowhere, a little boy comes up to me and says, "Can I have your autograph?" I looked around and I said, "Me? Why me?" He says, "Well, my dad and I were in the restaurant the other day, and you're our Hooters girl." I love my job. You know, Hooters has provided me the opportunity to pursue my education in broadcast journalism. One day, Tom Brokaw, I'm gonna have your job. And TJ, he never has to worry about where his next bone's coming from. Come see me at Hooters.
Back at the 18th green at the Gold Course at Doral, final group, final hole, Poteet chipping for birdie.
Well, this would get him second place all by himself, and he makes it. What a great move there. Think he's superstitious? We asked him.
I use the same coin every time. It's 1967 quarter. My goal is to shoot 67 every time I go out. It doesn't always happen, but you know, it gives me something to think about. So I strive for that, and if I get that, I'm great. If not, you know, you just come back the next day and try again.
Big putt here, Parker to save his par.
And to shoot 61. Ooh, just missed. Has that now for a bogey. And the gathering to watch the finale.
Gibby Gilbert for birdie and to get into a tie for third.
So there's dollars attached to this. And Gibby just rolls it by. He'll finish at 12 under par and a tie for fifth. So that putt worth a few $100 had he made it.
Well, Lee, here it is. This is the big one.
Well, this will tie the course record. 362s, the third of 362 shot by Greg Parker. The other two shot earlier in the week, and so Greg's very happy, and he is your winner. Here's the final leaderboard. Greg Parker with a 4-shot margin of victory. Again, after that course-tying record 62, Dave Poteet is at 14 under all by himself thanks to that brilliant chip there. And then it's Philip Schmidt and David Hauser at 13 under. Campbell and Gilbert, a dozen strokes under par in this event. Kevin Kraft shot a fine 65 today. He's at 11 under par. And at 10, John Kimball. Then 2 at 9, Rollins and Ford. And at 8, Darren Stiles and Mark Wilson. Those top players in the event, the Michelob Classic, coming to you from the Gold Course at Doral.
And we take a look at your Naturally Fresh points race. It looks like Chad Campbell has it all in the bag, but there's still 49 other players who are still vying for another $300,000. As a matter of fact, a good race for second between Heinz and Zorkic. And as we take a look at the second page, you can see how close everything is. A lot of people still vying for a lot of money on the tour this year. And we took a look at your official earnings. There you see Chad Campbell on top, 84, 484, 54. I'd like to make a check like that. Followed by Heinz Double Z, as they call him on the tour. Dyson Ford and Scott Medlin is there at 42. And as we take a look at the second page, you can see these guys make a really good living out here on the Hooters Tour. Let's take you down onto the course. Lee is there for the closing ceremonies.
Well, I'm standing with a winner and a guy that in 1992 was the last time that he won on this tour. We were in Greenwood, South Carolina. It was a great win then for you, Greg, your first on this tour. And now in 1998 here at a great golf course at a great golf resort, you're our winner, bud. You got it there down 18. You had a little bit of a struggle coming in. I'll tell you what, it was the only time you struggled today, and what a tournament, especially after the middle of the week when you gave up on an old putter.
Well, I'm extremely proud of myself and excited to have won here. You know, a lot of hard work involved, and it's been 6 years since a win, and finally, you know, it paid off. And I have been putting well, you know, and I brought a bunch of putters with me, and a lot of them have been broken, you know, and I put this one in Thursday morning, and boy, did it treat me well this week.
Greg, I know that the last several months you've been working the game. It's been sort of in doubt. You didn't play early in the year. And I know that golf was something you wanted to get back to, and I know that winning was something you wanted to get back to. We're headed to qualifying school. I know when you stand here right now, you're masking a lot of feeling within you, but you played like a champion.
Well, last week, believe it or not, did a lot for my confidence. It's the first time that I'd been in position to win. You know, I was 2 back playing the last day, and I shot 1 under. I didn't play as well as I would like, but it was nice to get in that situation. And, you know, my whole goal was to come back and give myself another chance. In same situation today, starting 2 back, I couldn't have asked for anything more, and I played the round of my life today.
You really did, and I know that David Wall, Greg Reed, and just any number of people here that are so proud of you and so proud of what you've accomplished, because they're your buddies. And they're the guys who have been right there with you the whole way. Greg Parker, he is out of the state of North Carolina by way of the University of North Carolina. He came in today with an 18 under par score on a great golf course. He is your winner here at the Michelob Classic. Greg Parker. We'll see you again next week when we're going to be in Atlanta for the final event of the season. I'm Lee Moore for the NGA Hooters Tour saying so long, everybody.
This broadcast is brought to you by Hooters Restaurants, home of world-famous chicken wings, and the nearly world-famous Hooters Girls. And by Naturally Fresh Pure Spring Mountain Water. All water is not pure. Taste the quality of Naturally Fresh Pure Spring Water. By Jackaroo Sauce. If you just got sauce, you ain't got Jack. And by smooth, rich-tasting Michelob. Beer or Michelob.